Everyone, thanks so much for joining me for this video. This one's going to be a little different than usual. I'm going to be talking about a particular skin-related issue that I have dealt with probably over just the past month here. And with the house situation and all that, I didn't really have a whole lot of time to get into explaining this to you, but I definitely, once it was happening, I was like, this is a topic that I think would help a lot of people if I brought it up. First off, I need to say I am not a doctor, nor do I claim to be. I'm just going to tell you about my experience with eczema, skin condition, and how I dealt with it, and basically my suggestion to you, which is ultimately to see a doctor. So kind of fast forward through everything I say, that's what I'm going to recommend to you. But first, you know, some of the things I tell you about might help you identify if this is something you're dealing with. Basically, eczema is a condition with the skin, and as a symptom of that, you may notice extremely dry skin. It's not necessarily like widespread all over your face or your body, but sometimes just certain areas. For me, the only place I was noticing this was actually around my eye area. It was on this eye, and it was severe dryness from about here up to here. This whole area going all the way up to my brow and to the crease of my eye. You can imagine that was not fun to deal with makeup-wise, and it really made me scared because I thought, what's going on? Why is my skin so dry? And this is affecting, you know, the way my makeup looks and stuff like that. So going back again, about a month ago, I noticed my skin was just starting to seem a little bit drier in that area. So it's, for me, this problem sort of crept up on me a little bit. It wasn't like instantly my skin was super flaky, you know, it was just a little bit drier there. And so I thought, you know, oh well, my skin's just being strange. I'm gonna put a little extra moisturizer or eye cream or whatever around that area. I think I got some temporary relief from that and wasn't too concerned. But as time went on, over the series of a couple of weeks there, it got quite a bit worse. And I spent probably a solid week eventually with very flaky skin, and not just like flaky like, if you've had a sunburn and your skin kind of peels off entirely and then you're left with kind of bare skin. It was just a continual flakiness. Like, even if you put something on it, even if you put like a gentle moisturizer, like the Clinique Dramatically Different was something I thought, you know, okay, this isn't gonna cause any disruption to my skin, but even so, it just had this continual state of dryness and flakiness. And so obviously, once that started to get in the way of my makeup routine and just concern, why is it just this area? My whole rest of my face was fine. I had it nowhere else on my body. It's not to say this can't happen elsewhere on your legs or your arms or wherever, but for me, this was the only place. It was around my eye. And so I was growing rather concerned about this. And mind you, this was about the week before, like the week leading up to our move at the house. And I start looking this stuff up online because I am an instant, like if I notice something is wrong or anything like that, like I instantly go to the computer. I think a lot of people will turn to Google and try to figure out what might be going on before they ever consult a doctor. What was coming up and what was really sort of making sense with my symptoms was that it was eczema. And so I read up about it, and yeah, dry, flaky skin. It can be around your eye area. Some people have it on their eyelid. Mine was very close to my eyelid. And I read about different things you can pick up from the drugstore. Eucerin makes a lot of products that are supposedly calming and good for this skin condition. And so when I figured that out, I was like, man, you know, I'm going out and I'm gonna get some of this, because it reached a point where this eye area was looking a little more swollen. And thinking back to see if there's any video where you could identify this, the last M's World that I did, I was probably experiencing some of this, but I had started to get it a little more under control. But anyway, I had not only some swelling, a lot of dryness, and then occasionally it was like the area in my crease was secreting just a little bit of moisture, and I didn't know if that was because so much skin was flaking off or something like that. I don't know what this was, but it was very consistent with what I read about eczema online. Anyway, got some Eucerin products, put a little bit on here, but hardly any, because then I started thinking, wait, this stuff does not necessarily say it's okay for the face, and this is my eye area. You know, if some of this gets in my eye or too close to my eyeball or my tear duct or something like that, I don't want to deal with more severe consequences than I already have. I went ahead and made an appointment with my doctor, which, had I been able to identify this a little sooner, my mom hasn't had anything like this. It doesn't run in my family, so to ask about it, no one else was really sure, you know? So I wish I would have identified it even sooner than I did, but ultimately called the doctor. I did not go to, I went to like a clinic. It wasn't an actual dermatologist, but the doctor was able to come in, give it a look, and basically say, yeah, that's eczema, I've had that too. Around the eye, the inner part of her eye, she said. So she prescribed something for me. It's a prescription lotion. It was called Desinide lotion. It's for external use only, she said, and I think this has a steroid in it, and so she advised me only use this for 5 days, twice a day, so like when you go to bed and when you get up. And she said keep it a very, very thin layer, so I guess whatever's in this exactly, you don't want too much, and you also want to use sparingly around your eye. So I did that, and within the first day, I mean, I went from having flaky to finally something that could control it. And after, like I said, the first day I noticed some results. Second day, everything just continually got better. Right now, I mean, I feel like you're seeing completely smooth skin right here. This is dry, this is not flaky, you know, it's how it should be. It's consistent with the rest of my skin. But stress is one of the triggers that I found. Stress can trigger eczema. A lot of people have said on discussion boards and things like that, if they get stressed, that can happen. Well, I was moving in 1 week. I was packing up my whole life and moving it to a new place, kind of nervous about that, and that could have very well been part of it. When I was at the doctor, they asked me a lot about, was I using a new product, or was there any possible reaction with anything that could be happening there? And I really wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary. I mean, I hadn't tried anything crazy and that I'd never done before, and once I noticed any dryness, I was definitely toning down what different products I was using around that area and using a lot less of them once that started happening. But anyway, they were able to prescribe me this. I used a very thin layer. This may not be necessarily what every doctor prescribes, but it worked for me, and it really cleared up the issue quickly. She also advised me to use Johnson's baby shampoo. It says it's gentle to the eyes as pure water. She said use this when you wash your eyes, and that was when I first started this. She said, you know, you can use whatever to, you know, get the bulk of your makeup up, but if you're doing something around your eye area, use this. So that's what I did. I still use my Olay Facials Daily Cleansing Cloths, got all my makeup off, and used this around my eye area. It is very gentle. Even though this was a sensitive area for that time, didn't feel a thing with this on it. So basically, yeah, I feel like I've talked forever, and I'm sorry. My objective was not to talk your ear off about this, but rather to maybe just let you know that if you notice something unusual with your skin that's not consistent with the rest of your skin at all, this could be elsewhere on your body, or it could be like I had right around my eye area. I would advise you to ask a doctor about it. Chances are they've seen something like this before. You know, a dermatologist would probably be ideal. Fortunately, the doctor I went to had experience with this, and they were able to identify it as well. But it's something you need to be aware of. You don't want it to get more severe, or something that, you know, might take you even longer to treat, or take a different kind of drug to treat it. And you know, I know this works for me. It's not necessarily what will work for you, but it was a struggle because I was still going on the air doing the news and concealing it as best I could. Fortunately, we're not on HD cameras yet. Our station is going in that direction, but it wasn't showing up there really. So I was able to conceal it or control it or whatever, but that's very hard to do. This is flaky, dry. The texture is not anything that you want to work with makeup wise. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of this and tell you my story. Thanks again for watching, and I hope I was able to help you. Have a great day.